Welcome, adventurers and myth enthusiasts. Are you ready to dive deep into the world of legendary monsters that breathe fire and bring chaos to all who dare face them? From dragons in Europe to serpents in the Far East, these fire-breathing creatures are not just figments of myth, they've captured our imaginations for centuries. Grab your sword, shield, and maybe a fire extinguisher because today, we're going to explore the top 10 fire-breathing monsters from around the world. Fire has been a symbol of power, destruction, and mysticism throughout human history. It represents the primal forces of nature, wild, uncontrollable, and dangerous. For as long as we have been telling stories, fire-breathing monsters have captivated our imaginations. These creatures often embody the dangers of nature itself, as well as the mysteries of the unknown. Whether they are dragons guarding ancient treasures, serpents that control the elements, or mythical beasts that breathe fire as a symbol of their wrath or power, they continue to fascinate us. Throughout the centuries, fire-breathing creatures have appeared in the mythologies of various cultures, each with unique traits and stories. Some are seen as protectors, while others as harbingers of destruction. Today, we are going to dive deep into the top 10 fire-breathing monsters from around the world. These legendary creatures are famous for their terrifying powers and fascinating myths. Let's take a journey through history, folklore, and legend to explore these incredible beings. 1. The dragon. Various cultures. The dragon is by far the most iconic fire-breathing monster in the world. Found in the mythologies of many cultures, dragons come in a variety of forms, but they are almost universally feared and respected for their strength and ability to breathe fire. In European folklore, dragons are often depicted as enormous, fearsome creatures that hoard treasure and breathe fire to protect it. These dragons are often malevolent, and heroes such as Saint George and Sigurd the Volsung are famous for slaying these beasts. However, in Eastern cultures such as China and Japan, dragons are viewed very differently. In these traditions, dragons are benevolent and wise creatures associated with the elements of water, rain, and good fortune. Chinese dragons, in particular, are often seen as guardians of natural forces, and while they may breathe fire, they do so to cleanse and protect, rather than destroy. Dragons in mythology often represent chaos, danger, and untamed power. Their fire-breathing abilities symbolize their control over destruction, making them both revered and feared. Whether as symbols of destruction or protectors of nature's balance, dragons have held a central role in world folklore for millennia. 2. Fafnir, Norse mythology. Fafnir is a legendary dragon from Norse mythology, and his story is one of greed and tragedy. Originally a dwarf, Fafnir transformed into a dragon after becoming consumed by his desire for wealth and power. His dragon form was a direct result of his greed, as he became so obsessed with hoarding treasure that he isolated himself from the world, guarding his loot with terrifying ferocity. Fafnir's fire-breathing abilities were as deadly as his personality. He used his fiery breath to keep intruders away from his treasure hoard, striking fear into the hearts of all who sought to challenge him. His story is an essential part of the Norse mythological cycle and serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed. Eventually, the hero Sigurd slayed Fafnir, using a combination of courage, skill, and cunning. Sigurd's victory over Fafnir symbolizes the triumph of virtue over vice, with the dragon's fiery breath being both a physical and metaphorical representation of the dangers of unchecked desire. 3. Chimera, Greek mythology. The chimera is a fire-breathing creature from Greek mythology that embodies chaos and destruction. Described as having the body of a lion, the head of a goat emerging from its back, and a serpent's tail, the chimera is a monstrous hybrid creature. Its fire-breathing abilities made it a formidable opponent for any hero brave enough to face it. The chimera terrorized the lands of Lycia, breathing fire and wreaking havoc wherever it went. It was finally slain by the hero Bellerophon, who rode the winged horse Pegasus and attacked the creature from the sky, preventing the chimera from using its fiery breath effectively. The chimera's fire was a symbol of uncontrollable chaos, something that needed to be tamed and conquered. Interestingly, the chimera was not just a physical threat but also a metaphor for the unpredictability of nature and the dangers of uncontrolled power. Its multiple forms represented the fragmented, disordered forces of chaos, while its fiery breath symbolized the destructive potential of these forces. 4. Zmey Gorynych, Slavic folklore. In Slavic folklore, Zmey Gorynych is a fearsome dragon that is often depicted with 3 heads, each of which breathes fire. The creature is known for its ability to ravage villages, scorching the earth with its fiery breath. Zmey Gorynych is a terrifying figure in Slavic tales, often portrayed as an evil monster that causes widespread destruction. Despite its fearsome abilities, Zmey Gorynych is ultimately defeated by a hero, often a prince or a warrior who has the courage and strength to confront the dragon. The creature's fire is both a literal weapon and a symbol of the untamed forces of nature that must be subdued. The fire-breathing abilities of Zmey Gorynych make it one of the most feared dragons in Slavic folklore. Zmey Gorynich's 3 heads represent the multiplicity of threats that heroes must face, and its fire-breathing ability underscores the theme of overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds in Slavic mythological tradition. 5. Tatsu. Japanese mythology. Tatsu are dragon-like creatures from Japanese mythology that are often associated with water, rain, and storms. Unlike their European counterparts, Japanese Tatsu are generally seen as benevolent creatures, revered for their wisdom and power. Tatsu are often depicted as long, serpentine dragons that can control the elements, including fire. Though their fire-breathing abilities are less emphasized compared to their European cousins, their power over the natural world is undeniable. Tatsu play important roles in Japanese folklore, where they are seen as protectors and symbols of good fortune. However, when angered or provoked, they can use their fire-breathing powers to devastating effect. Tatsu are also often connected to the spiritual world, representing the balance between the earthly and divine forces. Their ability to control fire adds to their mystique and power, making them one of the most revered creatures in Japanese mythology. The fire-breathing ability of Tatsu symbolizes the power of the natural world, a force that must be respected and understood. 6. The Fire Serpent. Native American mythology. The fire serpent is a creature from Native American mythology, particularly in the traditions of the Hopi and Zuni tribes. This serpent is believed to have the ability to breathe fire and is often associated with the sun and other fire-related deities. The fire serpent's fiery breath symbolizes the dual nature of fire. It can provide warmth and light, but it can also be a destructive force. In Native American lore, the fire serpent is sometimes seen as a guardian, protecting sacred places and people from harm. At other times, it is portrayed as a force of chaos that must be controlled. In all cases, the fire serpent represents the power and danger of fire, as well as its connection to life and death. The fire serpent's fiery breath is a reminder of the balance between creation and destruction. It is both a symbol of life-giving energy and a dangerous force that must be handled with care and respect. And there you have it, 10 of the most legendary fire-breathing monsters from various mythologies around the world. These mythical creatures are not just fascinating for their power and destructiveness, but also for the way they embody the forces of nature, both life-giving and destructive. From dragons hoarding treasures to serpents causing chaos, these beings have left their mark on the folklore of countless cultures. Thanks for joining us on this fiery adventure through mythology. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of mythical creatures, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible stories from around the globe. And remember, hit that notification bell so you never miss a new adventure. Until next time, keep your imagination burning bright.